In a realm where time flowed like a river's gentle current, there lived a king who possessed immeasurable wealth and power. His palace was adorned with grandeur, and his every whim was fulfilled with a mere gesture. Yet, despite his riches, a shadow of discontentment loomed over his heart. On the fringes of the kingdom, in a humble corner of the bustling city, lived a beggar. Wearing tattered rags and a smile that seemed to defy his circumstances, the beggar was known by all as the wise wanderer. He spent his days sitting beneath a sprawling banyan tree, offering pearls of wisdom to those who would listen. One day, driven by an inexplicable curiosity, the king decided to venture into the heart of the city. As he wandered through the busy streets, he caught sight of the beggar beneath the banyan tree. Intrigued, he approached the beggar and inquired, "Old man, how can you be content with so little?" The beggar looked at the king with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. "Your Majesty, contentment is not found in the abundance of possessions or power. True wealth lies in a heart that is free from the burdens of desire." The king frowned, unable to comprehend this simple truth. "But I have everything I desire," he declared. "My riches know no bounds, and my power is unmatched." The beggar's smile remained unwavering. "Your Majesty, let me tell you a tale. Once there was a king who ruled over an entire land. His treasures were beyond measure, and his authority was unquestioned. Yet, even amid such opulence, he longed for a single rose that bloomed beyond the palace walls. Day after day, he gazed at the rose from his window, desiring it with all his might. One day, he left his throne behind and embarked on a journey to claim the rose. But as he reached the rose, a thorn pricked his finger, and a drop of blood stained its petals. In that moment, he realized that his desire had clouded his vision. He had sacrificed his peace for a fleeting possession. The king listened intently, his heart stirred by the tale. "But how can I find contentment?" he asked, vulnerability in his voice. The beggar leaned in, his gaze unwavering. "Contentment, Your Majesty, is born from the practice of gratitude and detachment. Be grateful for the blessings you have, but do not let them define you. Just as a river flows freely without clinging to its own waters, so should you learn to flow through life with an open heart." Days turned into weeks, and the king continued to visit the beggar beneath the banyan tree. With each meeting, he shed a layer of his ego, allowing the wisdom of the beggar to seep into his soul. He started to spend time with his subjects, listening to their stories and understanding their struggles. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the city, the king turned to the beggar and spoke, his voice steady with newfound clarity. "Wise wanderer, I have learned that true abundance is not measured by possessions or power. It is the wealth of the heart that truly matters. I am grateful for this lesson." The beggar's eyes twinkled with satisfaction. "Your Majesty, you have discovered the essence of life. Remember, the journey to contentment is a path of continuous learning and unlearning. Just as a sculptor chips away at a block of stone to reveal a masterpiece, so must you chip away at the layers of illusion to reveal your true self." And so, the king and the beggar continued to meet under the banyan tree, sharing stories and wisdom. The king's heart became a beacon of light, guiding his actions with compassion and understanding. The city flourished under his reign, not just in material prosperity, but in the richness of unity and harmony. As years passed, the king's health began to fade, but his spirit remained unbroken. On his final day, surrounded by loved ones, he whispered to the beggar, "Thank you for showing me the way to a life well lived." With a gentle smile, the beggar replied, "Your Majesty, you were never a king of possessions, you became a king of hearts." And as the king closed his eyes for the last time, a sense of profound peace enveloped him. The legacy he left behind was not one of grandeur, but of the transformative power of humility, gratitude, and love. In the quiet of that moment, beneath the banyan tree, the beggar's teachings echoed through time, carrying a message that transcends boundaries and generations. True wealth lies not in what we amass, but in the depth of our hearts, and the lives we touch along the way.